Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now, today's first story comes from a throwaway account, and before we do get into it, I do want to give you a warning that there is talk of miscarriage within the story, so if you do want to skip it, please feel free to do so. Timestamps are down in the description and along the timeline below. Thank you. Am I the arsehole for leaving my dad's birthday dinner after overhearing my sister's comment about my miscarriage? A few months ago, me, 28 female, and my sister, Eva, 33 female, realized that we're both pregnant. I'd say she was about 6 weeks further than I was. She was struggling with infertility, so we were all happy for her. I have an older son, 2 male, with my husband, 32 male. Sadly, a couple of weeks ago, I lost my baby. We told my family, they were all supportive, but I did sort of pull away from them. They would have tried to avoid discussing Eva's baby around me, but I didn't want to overshadow her, especially since she's wanted this for a long time. I didn't want to be reminded of my own loss whenever I saw her, so I haven't been to my parents' place for Sunday dinner since, or really spent time with Eva, which we had been doing a lot before. I replied vaguely to any messages about my absence. Wasn't the best communication from me. Yesterday, my parents were hosting family dinner for my dad's birthday. I've been thinking about going because I missed my family. And while of course the pain of losing my child has not faded, I'm at a point where I can at least put it a little to the side to be there for my sister and my new niece when she is born. So I let my family know that we would be coming. However, we had to get a gift for my dad, and then my son had a bit of a tantrum. So we got to my parents' place about an hour late. Wished happy birthday to my dad and then went to the kitchen where my mum, Eva and my sister-in-laws were. But before I went in, I heard them say my name, so I stopped. My mum was saying something like, well, I guess OP's not coming. And Eva said, what did you expect? She probably changed her mind and is just staying home again. Honestly, I'm sorry for her, but you would think she'd be the first woman to ever lose a kid. And that's not even her first kid. Then they kept talking about other things, but I just wanted to leave. I went and got my husband, who was with my brother-in-law, dad and brothers in the living room. I told my dad I was really sorry, but we needed to go. They all protested, but my husband could see how upset I was, so he didn't. We got my son and left. When we got home, I just kind of cried for a while. My husband asked me what happened and I told him. He was angry that she said that, but thought we shouldn't have abruptly left because my dad had been looking forward to seeing us, and my son missed his cousins. After this, I was feeling conflicted. Later, my brother texted me saying my dad had been really upset about us leaving and brought it up at dinner, which caused a whole fight because Mum and Eva realized that I must have heard them talking and my dad was mad about it. My brother said it was pretty bad and he wished I had just stayed so none of it would have happened. Obviously, Eva didn't mean for me to hear that. They were all just frustrated that I'd been AWOL for so long. Now I feel bad because I didn't mean to ruin dinner. Obviously what Eva said was hurtful, but I can see how my actions might have led to her saying something out of anger, and I could have talked to her about it later instead of just leaving. I don't know. Am I the arsehole? ETA for additional context. My family is the type to just drop by at each other's places and see one another multiple times throughout the week, besides just Sunday dinner. Lately I've been kind of fielding off any request for people to visit. I just want to, I guess, emphasize how close my family is and how abnormal it is for me not to be seeing them regularly, even for a little bit. I haven't been ghosting them, but I've just been texting them saying I'm not feeling up to it for dinner and kinda leave it there. My sister and mum have always been closer to each other, as have me and my dad. Additionally, my brothers are closer to her since they're all closer in age. I mentioned this in the comment, but we didn't text anyone saying that we're going to be late since my family is usually pretty lax about time. Me and my husband usually show up early enough, so it's unusual for us to be late and might have been why they thought we weren't coming. Also, my son was continuing to be a handful all the way there, so kept us busy and we kind of didn't think about notifying anyone. I've started looking into grief counseling, now that I feel I can at least talk about it. As far as she's told us, my sister hasn't had a miscarriage before. She just had trouble getting pregnant to begin with. From what my brother told me, my sister and mum didn't admit to saying anything. They kind of just looked at each other once my dad mentioned me leaving. and he noticed and asked about it. Then one of my sister-in-laws, who was also in the kitchen, my other brother's wife, mentioned what they said, and my dad got mad. My other brother was also apparently angry with them, and it just turned into my mum and sister trying to defend themselves. My dad and other brother yelling, and my brother, who texts me, trying to stay out of it. First of all, I'm so sorry for your loss, OP, but absolutely not the arsehole in this situation. That fucking bullshit excuse where Eva didn't mean for you to hear that. That's such a she shouldn't be saying that kind of stuff anyway. Simple as that. True, supportive family members don't treat others like that. As we always say, that people deal with grief in different ways, and taking time away for yourself is absolutely a valid way to process grief, and that they didn't understand that in any way is batshit crazy. And the way that you explained yourself that you was mindful of her pregnancy at the same time is just shows what a wonderful person you are. Her behavior is simply cruel. You didn't cause any drama. You overheard the truth about how your sister talks about you when you're not around. They're not angry about you leaving, which in my opinion was the correct thing to do anyway. It's about them being exposed for their shitty behavior. McFly Throwaway says grief has no time limit. Recovery from a miscarriage sucks because hormones, pain, and suffering emotionally. The fact that your family thinks you needed to seemingly suck it up and get over it is ridiculous. So no, you weren't wrong for taking time and dealing with your loss. Sounds like that they are more focused on your sister finally getting pregnant, and they want you to do the same. It's like, how dare you make your miscarriage about yourself? Don't you know your sister's pregnant? So your sister who has struggled with infertility finally gets pregnant and decides that a miscarriage is NBD because it happens all the time and you already have a kid. Your brother is upset because the family fight wouldn't have happened if you just sucked it up and stayed. No consequence for your mum and sister. I'm sorry, but hell no, not the arsehole. Ask your sister if she remembers not being able to get pregnant, and ask her to imagine what she would have done if she overheard you saying. She probably is staying home again. You know she isn't the first woman to suffer infertility. She can always adopt if she wants a kid so bad. Yeah, your sister likely dreaded being around pregnant women and babies because of her struggles, even if she wasn't vocal about it. But now that she is pregnant and now the only pregnant sister, she thinks she can look down and judge you. Imagine if it was reversed. I bet your family would be having her over for dinner and asking you to stay home because you were pregnant and it was too hard for her. I'm sorry, but she is a selfish jerk, and I wouldn't accept any apology she gives, if she does. Remember, she isn't sorry because she was wrong for what she said. She is sorry she got caught saying it. And your family is wrong for blaming you for being rightfully upset because your sister faced the consequences of voicing her thoughts out loud. Bitchy Bitch says, your closest people should support you, not talk behind your back when you are not there. People grieve differently. They should have been happy that you're at the stage you're ready to socialize. Not the arsehole for me. Just silly situation for your dad as he has no part in this and it was his birthday. Give him a call, meet up with just him and have an honest talk. Don't ghost him and the rest of the people who didn't participate in the stupid talking. Mother and sister need to think about their stupid gossip talk, regardless if it was your first child or not. Sometime later, OP comes in with an update and says, "Hi everyone, I want to thank you for all the support and feedback on my last post. This update is mostly about a few different conversations that I had. I took your suggestions and called my dad, apologizing for leaving early. He completely understood. We talked a bit and he asked if we could go out to lunch this week because he missed seeing me, so we made plans. Then I talked to my husband and told him that I didn't think I could have stayed and still thought leaving was the best thing for us. He apologized for invalidating my feelings and said he would have liked for us to spend time with family, but not at the cost of my mental well-being. He offered to call my brother, not the one who texted me, to set up a playdate for our son with his kids so my son could see some of his cousins, which I appreciated. Later, my mum called. I guess my dad told her we talked, and she apologized for taking so long to call, saying she felt ashamed and didn't know how to talk to me. She said she wouldn't have let Eva say that if they'd known I was there, and that she didn't mean it. Eva has been hormonal and frustrated, and my mum thought calling her out at that point would have just made things worse. She felt terrible for hurting my feelings. I thanked her for the apology, but told her I needed more time before meeting her. After this, Eva texted me, and I wanted to hear her out, so I called. She apologized a lot and emphasized that she didn't mean it and regretted saying it, attributing it to the same thing my mum had. Apparently she and brother-in-law also had a big fight about it when they got home, which delayed her talking to me. We had a long conversation in which she confessed that she had a few early miscarriages before they even told her she was pregnant. But she felt she had to keep smiling through it, which made her slightly resent how I was handling my situation. I told her I was hurting and keeping my distance so she could enjoy her pregnancy. She felt bad for misunderstanding and thinking I was shutting everyone out. I assured her this wasn't the case. I hadn't let anyone in, and with her being pregnant, it was tough for me. I wished her luck, but told her I hoped she could understand why I didn't think I could be there with her. She was sad, but agreed. We talked more, and by the end, things were better. I texted my family group chat with a long message about how I was feeling and why I would be taking space from meetups, because I feel I need it after this. While the apologies eased my mind, and I can see myself forgiving them in the future, I'm still hurting, and I think right now I need to spend time with my husband and son and handle my grief with a professional. Thank you all again for reading this, and I hope this answers your questions about what happened next. Hope you all have a fantastic day. AB White Rabbit says, I'm glad you're taking the time to heal, and that your family is supporting you in this. Winter Rest says, what stood out in your mum's apology was that she said she wouldn't have let us say it if she knew you were there. That means that they were talking about you behind your back and thinks it's okay for your sisters to say those things. Continue to take step backs and heal, and fuck them. Duchess of Fire says, yes, no one should be able to express themselves or their frustrations about anyone else ever, especially when they're already emotional going through things themselves and may say things they don't actually mean. OP should apologize for talking about her family behind their backs. /sarcasm. I Like Shramp says, but saying I wouldn't have let her say something extremely insensitive and offensive if I knew you were around her to hear it. Absolutely sounds like I'd let her say it as long as I knew you weren't around to hear it, so there's no backlash to her hurtful words. Mum essentially just said, sorry you heard your sister being mean and insensitive towards you, not sorry your sister said something cruel about you. And it makes it seem like she had let her talk shit about OP without defending her daughter as long as OP isn't in earshot. Pregnant or not, what the sister said was abhorrent, and the mum's apology was only for OP hearing it, not about it being said in the first place. And that was absolutely the vibe I got from the mum saying that as well. There's times when I'm sure my brothers and me have said about each other behind each other's back in jest, oh bloody knobhead, or something like that. But then there's what that sister said in this situation, which, you know, is just fucking awful. If I knew one of my brothers or sister-in-laws was suffering with whatever's going on in their life, mentally or otherwise, I'd be concerned if they was keeping themselves away from the family. Respecting it, of course, but concerned, and just, you know, popping a little message, if there's anything you need, you know I'm here, kind of thing, right? Not talking shit behind their back. But whatever happens going forward, OP, I really do wish you all the best. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from Stella from Vienna from the Off My Chest subreddit and says, I invited 15 of my closest friends to my birthday party, but they didn't even reply to the invite, and I feel so ashamed. I, 27 female, made a WhatsApp group and invited 15 of my closest friends to my birthday party. I planned a nice themed dinner. The theme was Italy Dolce Vita at a nice restaurant, with one live music act, a nice cake ordered from a bakery, and fitting the theme and decorations. I wrote a heartfelt text how I wanted to celebrate getting older with my oldest and greatest friends, and I detailed everything that was planned for the evening in the invitation. And then, nothing. Nobody replied. Nobody said a word like, thanks for the invite, or looking forward, or anything at all. After a few hours, my boyfriend posted a party meme in the WhatsApp group and wrote how excited he was to get it started. Still nothing. After almost 2 days, I posted a gift of chirping grills and made a funny comment, still thinking maybe people simply forgot to reply. After another day, I started texting people individually if they would like to come or if they are available that evening, and a few responded that they will let me know soon. Others didn't respond at all. After almost a week, not a single one of my friends posted in the group or have messaged me if they would like to come to my birthday party. After 0 invitation acceptances, and after reaching out several times, I felt so ashamed, like I was begging people to want to celebrate me or to come. I started to cry and I felt so depressed, ashamed and humiliated. I just deleted the WhatsApp group. Nobody has asked me about that either. My birthday is now just a week away. I called the restaurant and cancelled. I called the bakery and cancelled my order, and I returned the decorations I bought. Maybe I was a stupid one for organising all those things beforehand, but I was just so sure that at least a handful of people would like to come or show up. I'm just so sad. I've known most of my friends for at least 15 years. I was their bridesmaids, their child's godparent, their maid of honor. I was there at graduation ceremonies and birthday celebrations, and I'm truly puzzled. Is it really such a burden to come to my dinner? A dinner which I would have paid in full and tried to make it into a beautiful evening/event for everyone. I'm just so sad and ashamed that I wasn't even worth a reply message. My boyfriend is trying to cheer me up, and he immediately got busy organizing a surprise birthday evening for me. He is wonderful, and I'm just so glad he and my parents care so much about me. Otherwise, I would just feel absolutely worthless. Commenter says to OP, who are these people? I can assure you it's extremely rare to have 15 close friends. OP says, mostly people I went to school or kindergarten with. There are as many as 15 because I invited my friend and additionally their partner. So 6 invitees were actually additional partners. Hope that helps. OP comes in with a first update and says, I've read every single comment. The comments range from compassionate to giving advice or constructive criticism. All in all, reading all of them felt so incredibly uplifting and cathartic. Thank you all. I will continue reading and answering as much as I can and give you any updates. To the people believing I will get a surprise party, I really won't. I think honestly every one of my friends is in their own bubble and has had their own stuff going on and just wasn't feeling it right now. Which was definitely hurtful and rude, but at least it didn't feel malicious. About my friends, then they are not bad people at all, but they are probably victim to a world where commitment in general is a rare thing to find, where rules and manners are slowly forgotten, and where being constantly busy is a good enough excuse for anything. I found it rude, but I will not confront them, but rather distance myself. They are my friends because in times of crisis they were there for me, and we share many good memories. However, as many pointed out, you do grow apart, and this behavior might be a result of that. I talked to my boyfriend a lot and showed him some of the responses, and he was very reassuring. He told me the fact that I cared so much, that I always tried to do things with love and care. That is one of the things he appreciates and loves most about me, and he never wants me to give that up. I also reflected on me and my character, and I will try and do better myself. As I also sometimes forget to reply to a text or cancel a lunch last minute, I will try to put the behavior out there that I would like to receive. I ordered myself a birthday calendar and an address book and a couple of birthday cards, and I will note every birthday of a friend or acquaintance that I make and send them a birthday card. Too many of the comments talked about the hurt they felt when people forgot their birthday and didn't show up, and I find the idea to try and do things differently soothing. P.S. Thanks for the many birthday wishes. They made me so happy. P.P.S. For all the people wanting to come to my party, I wish. That would certainly be so cool and make me believe that new friends are just around the corner. Commenter says, hard disagree with the majority here. OP, you are 27. That's well beyond being a child and well beyond expecting anyone to care about your birthday. Like, did you attend 15 birthday parties each year for all these people? You probably did not. Or at least you can sympathize with people who are like, hey, we're in our 20s now. We've all got jobs and chores to do. Can't we just simply hang out? The older you get, the more you need to stop thinking only about yourself. What do other people want to do that you like doing? Maybe next time arrange something that people would mutually like to do, rather than a vanity celebration for something you should have grown out of 20 years earlier. Opie says this comment is quite unfriendly, but I still appreciate that you took the time to comment. Another update comes in saying, I followed the advice of basically everyone and asked a few of them what happened and why I wasn't even granted a reply or reaction. Especially when I kindly asked all of them to RSVP until a certain date. To all the optimistic people, I have to disappoint you. There wasn't a surprise party planned. Also, all of them used WhatsApp regularly, and all of them saw the invites. The group messages were ticked blue. Now, for their responses/explanations. 4 of them had possible alternative plans and couldn't decide if they wanted to go to my party or to commit to other plans, so they just didn't want to say anything. Until they decided on something. 2 girlfriends didn't have confirmation if their partner could attend or not, so again they just didn't say anything, because they didn't know yet. All the partners were included in the group chat though. One said she wasn't feeling too well lately and wanted to decide spontaneously to come. One had a valid excuse since she tried to find childcare for a 6-month-old child all week long. She is the only one with a child and she actually found childcare, so we'll do something with her and her husband. I told all of them how it made me feel, that it was rude and that it made me cry and feel unwanted. I also told them that it is their loss, because if they don't appreciate me organizing nice events and evenings, this is not the first time I had issues like this. There simply won't be any for them to attend in the future. They all admitted that their behavior was rude and unfriendly and were apologetic and told me that they are sorry. One friend said he really messed up after he saw I deleted the group. He felt pretty bad and wanted to approach me anyways. It is not ideal, but it is something. I will not cut them out as suggested by many. I talk to them, I express my hurt, and I will give them the opportunity to learn from their mistakes and to grow. They are flaky in society that accepts flaky and non-committal behavior. They're human and faulty, and I'm also not a perfect human who does behave ideal all the time. I know that this answer may disappoint some. I will, however, make room in my life for people who are more reliable and will be appreciative and enthusiastic about theme parties, and will not rely too much on my current friends. All your messages were so uplifting and nice, and I honestly feel a lot better now, and I'm starting to look forward to my birthday again. I feel also incredibly optimistic that I will find like-minded people and friends in the future, and I won't give up. I'll throw nice parties and dinners again, and I will just have hope in my heart that my friends will have changed a bit, and I will also have made new, great friends by then. Thanks a lot, everyone. P.S. to everyone telling me about their bad experiences, their birthday parties, where nobody attended, and the moments they felt lonely. I feel so bad for you, and with you, and wish for every single one of you to find people who love and appreciate you. You will help me to feel less ashamed and less alone. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here, getting involved in today's stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.